Hi, historians, and welcome to Unit 1 of History 124. Before we dive into our readings, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to set aside the 1776 story we've all been conditioned to believe is the only beginning. In this space, our story doesn't start on the East Coast with the Pilgrims. It starts right here in the dust and the red rock of North America and Mesoamerica, long before a single European ship appeared on the horizon. This was a world of deep-rooted science, complex sovereignty, and urban centers that would have put London to shame. We're starting with the foundations, the mother culture of the Olmec, who laid the architectural and spiritual blueprints for everything that followed. We'll trace that legacy through the Mayan mastery of time and stars, leading up to the Mexica or the Aztec Empire. When the Spanish marched into Nochitland, they didn't find a primitive settlement. They found a sprawling, floating city of over 200,000 people, a city that was cleaner, larger, and more organized than anything they had ever seen in Europe. As we study this, I want you to ask yourself, who gets to decide what it means to be civilized? But the history isn't just in the South. North America was and is a map of hundreds of sovereign nations. In the Southwest in California, we're talking about the Dene or the Navajo people, the Apache and the Pueblo peoples, and even closer to home, as you sit in Santa Ana today, you're standing on the ancestral lands of the Tongva, the Ohashimen, and the Kumeyaay. The Spanish weren't discovering a wilderness. They were entering a lived-in world. This was a clash of worldviews regarding land, spirit, and power that still resonates today. To understand the Spanish expansion, we have to look at it as a strategic northern push. It wasn't a random crawl, it was a sacred expedition. Starting in Baja California, the Spanish moved into Alta California to secure the frontier. They built a chain of 21 missions from San Diego all the way up to Sonoma, all connected by El Camino Real. But don't let the beautiful architecture distract you from the reality. This expansion was built on the labor and lives of indigenous peoples. El Camino Real itself began as an indigenous trade route up in the western, or that went up the western coast. It forever altered the ecology and the soul of the Southwest. Finally, in Module 2, we pivot to the era of revolution, but we're widening the lens. We're going to look at the Second American Revolution, the massive, often ignored role Spain played in helping the 13 colonies win their independence. At the same time, we'll see that same revolutionary fire spread south as Mexico begins its grueling fight to break away from the Spanish crown. By the end of this unit, the map is going to look very different, and the foundation of Mexican American identity starts to take a clearer and powerful shape. This unit is heavy, it's fast-paced, and it's going to challenge what you think you know. History isn't just a list of dates. It's about whose voices we choose to amplify and who has been silenced. Jump into the discussions early, stay on top of those key terms, and remember your Unit 1 exam is on April 26th. I'll see you in the modules.